Welcome to This Explainer. Today we're doing something a little different. We're tearing up those glossy, sun-drenched real estate brochures and diving into the gritty, unfiltered reality of rural Florida retirement. You know, the side of the story the marketing campaigns really don't want you to see. You've probably watched the videos promising a cheap, quiet paradise where your pension stretches infinitely. But what happens when that meticulously crafted dream collides with a harsh reality on the ground? Well, listen to this stark warning straight from a local resident. Stop revealing our secrets. We don't need everyone moving to our paradise. We are full. Go away. Yikes, right? That really sets the tone for today because we're acting as your investigative guide. The internet is absolutely flooded with content pushing people toward these tiny Florida towns, but the locals are pushing back hard, and they're telling a very different story in the comment sections and community boards. All right, part one, the Sunshine State pitch. You know the pitch. It sounds absolutely irresistible, doesn't it? Towns where retirees can supposedly live like kings on $2,000 a month with zero state income tax. You get promised a beautiful, quiet $155,000 home on a lake. But man, the reality locals are actually experiencing, it's a massive bait and switch. Instead of quiet lakes, you're looking at a chaotic financial cocktail of doubled property taxes, quadrupled traffic, and insurance rates that will literally make your jaw drop. Which brings us to Section 2, concrete, congestion, and crowds. You moved to the country for peace and quiet, right? Well, scratch that. Native Floridians are reporting that areas like Dunnellon and Sarasota are completely buckling under the pressure of mass migration. Listen to this local. 10-minute commutes turned into 30 minutes, a minor fender bender causes an hour delay, concrete everywhere. We're talking narrow, one-lane country roads that were designed for a small agricultural community now totally paralyzed by daily congestion. It's a total infrastructure collapse. And honestly, the environmental cost is pretty tragic. A lifelong resident put it this way. When I was a kid, we had fireflies in the backyard. I haven't seen one in 15 years. All that rapid, uncontrolled development isn't just killing the morning commute. It's paving right over the exact quiet, natural charm you probably moved there to find in the first place. Endless stretches of concrete and massive subdivisions are just erasing the paradise those brochures promised. Now let's look at Section 3, the hidden financial traps. Because here's the thing, the sticker price on that cheap house, that's just the entry fee. Residents are warning that you're going to get gouged by crippling monthly expenses that those glossy videos conveniently leave out. We are talking sky-high hurricane and home insurance, literally some of the most expensive car insurance in the entire country, and property taxes that are quietly doubling while these small towns scramble to build new infrastructure. And speaking of property taxes, let's look at a highly deceptive claim. A lot of the marketing touts this magical property tax exemption for seniors with homes under $250,000. Sounds like a total financial cheat code, right? Well, there is a massive catch, the number 25. You have to live in that specific home for 25 straight years to qualify. Yeah, 25 years. One bluntly honest local said, you need to live there 25 years to get the exemption. I'll be dead in 25 years, probably in 5. So if you're retiring at 65 or 70, waiting a quarter of a century for a tax break is just mathematically impossible. It's a structural advantage built into the tax code that sounds amazing on YouTube, but it's an empty promise for almost any new retiree. Moving on to Section 4, the rural healthcare mirage. The real estate agents will enthusiastically swear up and down that your medical needs are fully covered by top-rated rural hospitals right around the corner. But the unfiltered truth? It's much darker. One transplant shared this. The healthcare here is terrible unless you can pay cash. It can take months just to get an appointment. The rural clinics are completely overwhelmed, and waiting months to see a specialist when you're in your 70s is a severe, sometimes dangerous bottleneck you really can't afford. And finally, Section 5, culture, climate, and gators. Because moving to rural Florida is a profound lifestyle shift. In a lot of these towns, the economy isn't cute farmers markets and antique shops. As residents point out, you're more likely to see bail bond shops on every corner. In many places, massive state prisons are actually the main employers for the town. Locals warn about deep poverty and pothole-ridden streets that have seen much, much better days. Plus, the environment itself, it kind of fights back. You're not just dealing with sunny beaches. Residents are actively warning newcomers about toxic water issues, toxic radon seeping from the ground, and giant, terrifying sinkholes opening up without any warning whatsoever, sometimes caused by industrial phosphate stacks. It's a highly volatile landscape, for sure. One frustrated resident summed it up perfectly. It's too hot, the humidity is deadly, we have hurricanes, gators, and mosquitoes that will carry you away. It's a raw, gritty environment. You are battling suffocating humidity and literal alligators in your backyard pond. It is an exhausting climate that doesn't care one bit about your relaxing retirement plans.
And because of that harsh environment, the people who have lived there for generations have very specific rules. As one rural Floridian put it, locals love cows, trees, guns, loud old cars, hunting, and bonfires. Everything you criticize when you move here. That's a huge complaint from locals. Retirees moving in and immediately trying to change the rugged rural culture they just bought into.
This cultural barrier even comes down to exactly how you speak. Seriously, if you sound like those polished voiceovers from the YouTube pitches, you're going to stick out like a sore thumb. Take the towns of Panama City and Weewillichka, for example. Locally, those are pronounced Panima and Weewa. Say it wrong, and you instantly out yourself as a tourist who doesn't belong. It's a local shibboleth, and they are definitely watching to see who moves into their territory.
So as we wrap up this explainer, we really have to ask ourselves, when you peel back the slick marketing, factor in the exploding concrete development, the jaw-dropping insurance rates, the severe medical bottlenecks, the extreme weather, and the fierce cultural clashes, is this affordable rural Florida dream actually a nightmare in disguise? What do you think? Is the cheap price tag worth the ultimate cost? Thanks for joining me today, and keep questioning what's behind the pitch.